So here we have, live from all over the world, Kym Hape.
Oh, thanks for that, Greg. This is my first Zoom live course, so I'm learning this platform. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm Kym, I'm 39, I'm from New Zealand, and I now live in Perth, Western Australia, another beautiful country, and want to welcome you all. I met Greg, I may have been around 24, definitely around 24, so a few moons ago, nearly 20 years ago, in a little town in New Zealand, and I would go and sing when my back was sore and I wasn't the healthiest, and so there's that connection there. Greg look after me, and I was very unhealthy, and I had come from beautiful pastures, one part of New Zealand. I had started living in another part, and by a lot of the food and unhealthy, I guess, preservatives, just everything in foods and my mindset, I became very unhealthy very fast, and was going to kill. So there's the connection there. I am a rebuilding lives coach. I empower people to rebuild their lives, and want to welcome to the interview that I want to share with the world, because what I can see Greg is doing in Austria is some amazing work and inspiring people. I interview people around the world who take a holistic approach to rebuilding their lives, and the mindset over being told that their life has to be one way and one way only. I refuse to believe that, and I know the mindset is aligning who we are and what we believe in. It's really awesome to be able to get in alignment with ourselves, but also to look into that more holistic and natural ways of healing, starting with the mindset. So the interview today, I will start with a few questions. So Greg, kia ora, where are you from? And one thing that you love to do. Just one thing.
Well, really, I'm from the planet, but born, bred, raised, all that sort of shit in New Zealand. Lived all over the North Island. My father was moved a lot, so yeah. What's my favourite thing to do?
One thing.
Well, let's see. I guess would be just to work with bodies. That's got to be my favourite thing. Cool. To just touch bodies and feel them come alive. It would have to be the most joyful thing for me to do in my life. And that doesn't matter whether that's a man who's 245 kilos or a baby that was only 6 weeks old. There's the same pleasure and joy involved.
You found yourself, so let's get into it, Greg. You found yourself unable to walk. What caused that to happen? How did you find yourself?
Because I was stupid. Really, it was like, for me, the mind has the biggest thing to do with our reality and our bodies. And for me at that time, all I wanted to do was check out, get off the planet. Unhappy childhood, unhappy teenagehood, blah, 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 unresolved shit. And then I was in a relationship that was becoming unkind, and there was no joy in it. And so, growing up a Mormon, you're taught that you're stuck with that marriage. You don't divorce. Even though my father was on his third marriage, the mindset was so you don't get divorced. And so it was like easier to die. And so that's what my body was said about doing, was trying to die. But they kept kicking my ass back into my body. So
you weren't in a major crash. You didn't drive a motorbike through a tree or anything? No?
No, I tried once to drive it through a corner, but again, we found out later that was because I just had a stroke. And that was at 17. So, hang on a minute, I've just got to go rescue her horn. She's stuck. 1 moment.
Okay, all good. Okay, so me thinking, okay, he used to be in a wheelchair, thinking accident. Of emotion going on for Greg. There was a lot of things that, you know, were happening, and he chose to get into a wheelchair. We'll have to see what his words are, because I was thinking it was a major crash or something. Put your headgear on.
Yep, our old Hund,
Okay,
Cookie, she's getting quite old now, and she had trouble getting off her bed, so it was like calling out to help me. So, yeah. Oops.
So you were not in a car crash, and you didn't run a motorbike through a tree or anything?
No.
So what the hell were you in a wheelchair? Where'd you find one of them? How much it cost you in a wheelchair?
Well, I was told I was actually pretending. But the hospital decided that with the strokes that I'd had, the 3 strokes, that I was unsafe to try and learn to walk again. There was no communication between the inner ear and the brain. So only a few seconds of standing up, and I'd fall over. And all it took was for me to be really concentrating on walking, and somebody come behind me and go, like that, and I'd fall over because there's suddenly this change of focus, and I was on my back looking up or on my face looking at the carpet. And yeah, so they said, not good, Mr. Bryers, you'll fall over and break something. I did, a coffee table, a lounge suite, you know. There was one time we had visitors and I was particularly shaky, and I stood up as I was leaving just to say bye, and I'm doing this, and my wife walks up to me and says to the visitors, "What's this?" And she just tapped me.
So you were really out of the line today?
Oh, totally. It wasn't even in my body. My head flipped backwards, back onto the couch, and just turned it to toothpicks. So, yeah, it was like, oops, that was not the best move to do, but yeah. So, yeah, wheelchair was the safest thing for me. And for me, it was like, oh, fuck, I don't have time for this shit. I've got 4 kids I want to play with. And so when nobody was around watching me and telling me to sit nice in a chair again, I was practicing walking and constantly working on using my left hand and constantly working on balance. And
how long were you in the wheelchair for?
Too long, 5.5 years.
5.5 years. Did you ever think at that time in life you had a choice? Like, even though you were, trying the walking thing.
Always.
How powerful was your mindset in regards to I have a choice, or I fucking have a choice. I have a choice, or I have a choice. Where was your mindset at?
No, it was like I have a choice. I can sit in my chair and die, or I can get out of my chair and live. And at that time was that there was no choice. I was going to walk regardless. End of story. And there were times that I still gave up on me a little bit, and was just, I'd get so tired, you know, I'd get so exhausted and so sick of this reality that I just wanted to die. But it's like, still, if I'm waking up in the morning, then I'm going to learn to walk. I'm going to play with my kids.
Yeah.
You know? Even in my chair, I'd go and play softball with them. I even tried playing tennis with them.
You were still wanting to be active, though.
Yeah. And the first year, I went through 3 chairs, three wheelchairs. Totally destroyed the first one in like 3 months. It went from wheels upright like this to I bent the frame to where they couldn't turn anymore because they were rubbing on the frame. The second wheelchair was 11 months, and they'd replaced every moving part on it. and said, we're not covering your warranty anymore, Mr. Bryers. You have to get another chair. So they bought me an indestructible one made by people who were in wheelchairs, and as hard as I tried, that one stayed whole. But yeah, I was too active, you know. If you're familiar with Hamilton at all, there's big curbs in Hamilton.
Yeah.
I curb hop those, no problem.
Being on a skateboard. So
Basically,
what moment did you decide to make a choice? So do you remember the day? Do you remember the moment? Do you remember like when you decided I'm going to get up and walk? You remember when or what year or like that moment?
well, there was always the decision that I had no choice. That I was really, the choice was I have no choice. I am going to walk. But there was a moment in my life when I realized that I have greater choices to choose for me and my life, and to let go the shit, yeah. And it was really, it was in a space where I was still on the downhill slide emotionally and mentally and even spiritually, where it was like, fuck, what am I here, you know? And I was at university and I was screaming around the corridors, ha ha ha, you know, 145 kilos and bulletproof and indestructible, and didn't care who I killed because, you know, I can't hit myself, I'm already in the chair. And I came around the corner of the hall sideways and nearly collected the secretary for the department I was in. And she was so small that when I'm sitting in my chair, we could eye to eye each other. And she said, how are you? And in that moment, she was asking me from her heart. She didn't just say, hi, Greg, how are you? It was like, how are you? And it just stopped me dead. It's like, and before I could even answer, I'm going, Rah! And I'm absolutely sobbing like a broken-hearted child. She goes, oh my God. And so she took me down to the University of Social Services. And there was a guy there called Chris. I've just remembered his name. How's that? And he was talking to me, and he said, so why are you still in your marriage? I said, because I've got 4 kids. He says, so? You have no joy in your life. You're trying to die rather than live. What would happen if you left and decided to live? I says, I'd lose my children. He says, no, you won't. He says, they'll remember you. They'll remember all the fun they've had with you, and they'll choose you. I says, you promise? He goes, it's guaranteed. They will. They can't not remember you. So it was in that moment, when I thought, wow, so I can choose all sorts of other things too. And so actually, at that moment was when I went, okay. And I created separation from my then wife, and basically I lost my children for 5 years. But in that 5 years, I did a lot of grieving, I did a lot of letting go, and I stood up, I started walking, I started running. I could grab a chainsaw and work for 3 days solid cutting rings of firewood, and then with an axe split it, and still be able to walk home and have a beer. You know, these are things that were outside of even what my doctor thought would ever be possible for me. And my kids get being told that, oh, Dad's dying, he's sick, you know, he's getting really sick now, he's dying. But they kept hearing from other people that, oh, wow, your father, he's amazing, he's doing this and he's doing that. And so my youngest daughter decided, I'm going to see for myself, I want to see my father. And she went against everybody in the family and demanded to see me. And so they reluctantly gave her a day with me. And she went home and said, Dad's not only alive and well, he's thriving. And from that moment on, my relationship with my 4 kids changed. And now I have a wonderful relationship with them. You know, I even have a friendship with my ex-wife, regardless of all the unkindness that happened. You know, I can still hug her and say, "Hi, how you doing? Have a great day." You know, and off I go. I could never live with her, but you know, I don't hold the grudges because she was living her life and dealing with her shit, just like I was dealing with my shit.
Was Chris an influence?
Huge.
Like
And he
guaranteed.
yeah, and also he gave me a book to read. You
What
Can
was the
Heal
book?
Your Life. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay.
Oh, You Can Heal Your Life. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I'm listening to her a lot.
Okay.
She's good.
Well, she's amazing. And that book, the first time I read it, I got to where it talks about people who have had strokes. I thought, fuck you, you bitch. You don't have no idea what it is. You've never had a stroke. And I threw the book out the window. It was scary. You know. And then he saw me at university. He says, "How you doing with the book?" I says, "Ah." He says, "Go back, get it, and read it." So I went back. I got to I got back to the point where it talks about the strokes. I threw it out the window again. You know, I was like, shit. It took me 3 goes to get past that point and go, oh, okay, I'll look at this. And actually stopped to look at what it was that I wasn't wanting to look at. And really, I had chosen to die. That's what people with strokes is. Life is too hard. There's nothing I can change. It would be easy to die. But, you know.
How powerful is the word choice or I choose? How powerful is that word?
It's an amazing word. For a lot of people, it's actually like a big break. Choose? I can't choose. That would hurt too many other people. We'd rather hurt ourselves than make a choice that frees us.
So people, what I see is a lot of people, they have a choice. Everyone has a choice. Yes, no, do it, don't do it. Go there, don't go there.
Yeah.
Think this or think that. So there's always a choice. However.
Yep. Even not choosing is a choice.
Yeah. And the funny thing is people are choosing to put other people before their choice.
Yeah.
They don't make a choice because they're always thinking about who it's going to affect rather than how it's going to affect them. They're worried about who else is going to be affected well before they've even thought about themselves. So they're choosing to put one before themselves.
Yep. I was at university with a boy from Sri Lanka. Both his parents were really incredible surgeons, medical. And he was studying at university, incredibly bright, got 99% all the way through. But he didn't want to be a doctor. But he was training to be a doctor because that's what his parents told him to be. He actually wanted to be a physicist. You know, his idol was Stephen Hawking. But he was living his parents' dream for him. And at one point there, I watched him and he went, nah, this isn't working for me. And he quit. And he started doing what he wanted to do. And, you know, his parents tried by stopping giving him spending money. And he just carried on and he's doing what he wants to do. And this is where we have to choose. And sometimes it's hard. Often it's hard because, you know, people want us, they think they want the best for us, but often they're actually choosing because it makes it easy for them. We just don't know this. You know?
Isn't it funny how the hardest choices lead to the most beautiful destinations?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, me choosing to...
All the choices go here.
Yeah. You know, I always joke that it took me to leave my wife for the ape to stand up. You know, the monkey to stand up and start walking again. I had even coming to Europe, I had to let go a whole lot of stuff, choices that hurt other people. I mean, I've got friends or had friends that don't talk to me anymore because I'm having too much fun. Really, literally, that's their words. You're having too much fun. You're out. You're living your dream. You're not supposed to do that. So, well,
yeah, apparently, it's supposed to be in the norm.
Yeah. You know, and
Um,
my son messaged me one time on Facebook, and he said, it's a pity that you have to travel the world looking for love when we have 4 children and 5 grandchildren that love you back here at home. And I messaged him back. I says, it's not about me looking for love. It's about me showing how other people can have love, because I have all the love I require, you know. And then all these people that were friends of mine on Facebook all messaged him and said, Ben, your dad's amazing. He's showing us what's possible. Thank you for being one of his caring people, you know. And but it's this, sometimes we just need somebody to go, hey, just go that way a little bit more, and you see where all the joy is, you know. I see it all the time in classes. I watch people change and transform. I see people
make a choice. Yeah, take a few steps to the left or to the right,
yeah,
or move forward.
yeah, do a
Make that
duck,
choice,
go the other
still,
way,
or
you
move
know.
forward. Yeah.
It's all a dance. And then we start making even what we have to choose significant rather than what would bring us joy.
What do you think holds people back from making a choice? Because a lot of people, if we've got a fork in the road, say there's a fork, and they're in the middle, they can go left, they can go right. A lot of people stay in the middle. You can choose to go either way. You can stay in the middle of the choice. That is a choice. However, the same things that are happening in your life will go round and round and round. The universe or God or whoever, whatever source you believe in, will keep showing you those same patterns until you make a choice. So you do have a choice of, you can choose to stay in the middle. However, what do you think holds people back?
Fear of judgment, fear of rejection.
Going right. Okay. Fear of rejection. So fear.
Fear of others, fear of what others will think, fear of being rejected. In the end, you've got to realize that it's just a life. It's just one lifetime. And you're an infinite being. And, you know, this is, for me, life is now more like a fun park. I come to this time to go on the roller coaster, all these ups and downs and, you know, around the corners and shit. Next time I'll come back, I'll probably go to the wave pool because then I can relax and just ride the wave. You know, another time I'll come back and it'll be in the horror show. Who cares? But it's just like choices again and again and again and again. You know, and then if I lived 100 years, it's only a blink in infinity. You know.
And they say, I don't know whose quote it is, but it goes, you're always one choice away from a completely different life.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, every single day we make choices. The subconscious mind makes choices, right? Yeah. We make choices, but without, you know, like, it's almost like we're on autopilot. Oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But consciously, when it comes to the deal breaker of actually really changing your life, the choice comes forward. We're sitting there. We know we have to make it, and that's when we run away. That's when we're scared, is because we're like, I actually have to make a choice. People are making choices automatically every day. Yeah. Walk to school, drive to school. They just choose to do the one way. But when it comes to something that hits the emotional, it sets them back emotionally, really it's gearing them to move forward powerfully. Yeah. That one choice that they may need to make, or many choices at that one time, they actually sit there and go, shit, what do I do? They know exactly what to do. Yeah. They just haven't unleashed it yet. Yeah. And it's actually being willing to step forward and let that happen and choose it. But fear stops us. Yes. And how do you help people around the world? What do you do? Give us a little slice of what you do to empower people to make choices that serve them rather than not serve them. I slap them. No. I think probably the biggest thing I do is I hug them and look and talk to them from a space of no judgment. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's 4 people in front of you that
could probably answer that better than I can, because I don't know. When I talk to them about my story, I invite them to choose change for themselves. I don't tell anybody what they've got to do. But I do sometimes. I've shared it with somebody. We did just choose one way or the other. And if you don't want to choose, go home, because you're wasting your money. Here's your money back. You know?
Yeah, wasting their money, wasting their time, wasting your time, wasting
Yeah.
their time, wasting their time. Get it
Yeah.
back on.
Yeah. And we had a lady like that in I can't remember where, and I just lost my rag with her because she's just stuck in the story. And in the end, I says, look, I just want to give you money back. You know, you can piss off, go home. She, but I don't want you. I says, well, then you need to choose. Get out of the story so you can step forward. But no, that doesn't work for me. But you know, that lady made such an amazing transformation. We had the
oh, good. So she didn't take her money. She actually made a choice.
Yeah. She came in.
Yeah,
She said, okay, I want to have a one-on-one session with you after lunch or during lunch. So it's like, shite. So we had a one-on-one session.
Double the price.
Yeah, basically, she came out of the room, and everybody that was in the class turned around and looked at her and go, oh, wow. And then instead of being, oh, that bitch, you know, here she is again, they just started to embrace her, and she was walking differently, she looked different, she sounded different. She stopped the wine, you know. Hey, you know, when a plane load of bombs have landed in New Zealand, they turn the engine off and you still hear the wine. Well, she was like that, you know. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, it's still, I mean, she went from somebody who couldn't walk 100 meters to walking for an hour, dancing and skipping and singing.
Oh, nice. Is she watching?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, can we hear from one of our guests who have tuned in?
Yep, absolutely. I'm gonna go.
Cool?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back inside because my laptop's telling me I'm running out of power. So I'm gonna walk while you talk. And
it's funny that my phone was fully charged and it is really low as well. And I'm like, man, Zoom takes up a lot of energy. At least the energy I can feel.
Yep.
Would anyone like to share? I'll see if I can. I can only see. Here we go. Would anyone like to share? Unless Greg might have to start picking.
No. They're big people. They're adults. They can choose.
Would anyone like to share what you know?
So
you know.
Okay. I heard someone. Who's talking? What's
it's
your
me.
name?
That sounds like Melanie.
Yes.
Melanie.
Good.
Hi,
in Germany, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so I say good morning. It was a German class he told about. I was in that class. I saw that lady. It was phenomenal. The change was phenomenal. And why I was in that class was I just wanted to see the energy changing in and feeling in my body. I did not know what that was. It was just, I want to have this class. And after that class, for me, it was more, no, not more. It was feeling my body again, first of all. Being in communion with my body. I don't know where I was all the years before. And it was, okay, definitely I have choices. Before, I had no choices. For me, I had no choices. It was, okay, I have a husband, there are 2 kids, blah, 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 blah. And after that class, it was, okay, I can create my life as I like to live my life. I don't know what happened. It was just changing. And for me now, it's much easier to ask my body, okay, what will that create? What will that create? What will that create? Is it wow or is it ooh? After these classes, I already had, I guess, 4 alchemy classes. Yes, 4. 3 or 4 alchemy classes, and I just love them because always it's a huge step forward. Doing my own choices for me. Yeah, just a real short good morning from Cologne.
Thank you, Melanie. Oh my God, thank you. I can hear that in your. I can see it on your face. I can see it. The smile, the excitement, and then taking us back to that time. You feel it in your body. You feel it.
I just know it.
Recalling that moment, you know it.
Yes.
Yeah. And body language as you speak as well. You're upright. You're uplifting. You're empowered. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
I remember my first class. I know I told the lady that was the host in Germany, I want that class. What? She said, yes, I want that class. But I want that class. Just organize it. But I want that class. So we had some of them.
Cool. Oh, I've lost Greg. I found him. Awesome. Thank you, Melanie. That's cool.
Yes.
Right. That is our Zoom call for the day. That's it.
Cool.
Choice. Short and sweet. Does anyone have any questions? Any ladies have any questions?
These are my stalkers.
Yeah, but perhaps we can talk about something why people are afraid of those choices real quick. Or is it too early in the morning in Europe? I don't know.
I'll mute because I'm going by music, and I'll.
We've lost her. She will go on mute. So yeah, why are people afraid to make choices?
Yeah, for me it was it's not possible to have fun in my life and to be alive, really alive.
Yeah,
it's what my parents always did. Even did not say, but they did.
Yeah.
Just being normal, 9-to-5 job and blah 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 blah, and you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have two kids, so you have you are selfish if you do something on your own, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So there was such a energy, and just to say, okay, just go away was not that easy the first time. But sometimes it's easier if you see that's possible for others too, so you are allowed to have fun in your life also. Something like that, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their own fears, their own demons that they have to overcome and walk past. And so much of that fear is created because of the conditioning in our social environment right from birth, and sometimes even pre-birth. We pick up on the fear of our mothers and our parents, and it's like this is where I keep saying I can't judge people. You can't say, well, you should do this. It's like, okay, so what would it take now to let that go? Yeah. So yeah.
I just wanted to talk about it real quick. Yeah, because that's why some people think about, okay, shall I not? Shall I not? Shall I take this class or not? Bullshit. Just go for it and take whatever your body wants to have then.
Yep.
That's it for me. Now.
No.
Yes.
when it comes to choices, for me, it's often the question, as soon as I know that there are different possibilities, I can choose then. But if there is no variety, or if I don't know what else is possible, then it's difficult to choose.
So we stay in that area of thinking about what's possible instead of going beyond it, right?
Yep.
Okay, just.
Yep. I think for me, the greatest changes happened when I stopped looking at what I know is possible and trying to imagine beyond the even conceivable into choosing to live a life that was inconceivable. And, you know, I'm doing that. And it was totally inconceivable for me, even for much of my family, that Greg would live in Europe, let alone be successful, let alone be happy, let alone have friends.
In Austria, not in Europe, in Austria.
Yeah, but I spent a lot of time outside of Austria. You know, how many times I've been to France this year? 5 times, or will be by the time the end of the year comes. And then there's Hungary and, you know, Germany again, you know, so it's like, yeah, this is the amazing stuff. And when we're willing to choose that, to go beyond and actually live an inconceivable life, we start to let go of the limitations that hold us back. Again, it's that making that choice. You know, I choose this. What else can I be? What else? Oh, yeah, I know that's possible. What can I do beyond that? Oh, wow.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, and then, you know me, my body starts to contract in my legs or something like that, and I say, okay, what's possible here beyond? And then my right leg says, oh,
yeah.
So how can I change that then with total ease? You know me, I always want ease with change.
Yeah. Sometimes change creates discomfort first, because we've got to step outside our comfort zone to do it.
Okay.
And it's only discomfort because the mind doesn't like change.
Okay, so it's also only a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
To let go the contraction or what?
Or to step through it.
Beyond. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, simple thing, walking upstairs. You've actually got to use effort to walk upstairs. And a lot of people, if they don't want to do the effort, will buy a house with no stairs.
Okay.
You know? It's the same thing. It's a choice. You can either live a life where there's lots of ladders to climb and lots of things to see from the view, or we buy a single-story house that you can wheel into in a wheelchair and stay on the ground floor.
Okay.
For me, the comfort zone is just, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, because we become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I love watching my youngest daughter, she doesn't. She still has a comfort zone, but for when she wants to start creating something, she looks from outside the square. So she stands outside the square and looks in and goes, "No, that doesn't work for me. What else is there?" And looks the other way. So, and my kids are all starting to do that, you know. And what else can we do like that instead of being caught up and trapped? You know, it's a mind trap. You're welcome.
Thank you.
For me, it was also very important to go through different possibilities I have with my mind.
Yeah.
That was the point where I saw I have choices, and then think what I would really want. don't make myself wrong for who I am and what I want. Because I was somehow living in a, well, people would say in a golden cage.
I know that.
House, daughter, dogs, cats. So I should be content. I should be happy. I should have fun. And I should run. But yeah, it was not exactly what I wanted. But it took me many years to see different possibilities. And then there was this question when I woke up in the morning, what would I do if I knew it would be easy? And then, yeah. And then it was totally clear. I mean, it's not that easy, but it was clear. And that was the choice too.
Oh, someone's got a parrot.
And that was the point where I could choose to change a lot of stuff.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
The fear is, oh, sorry, turn my other phone off. I'm actually in the cliff.
That's a nice brick wall. I see Pink Floyd.
Can you hear me now?
That's not Kym. Yep, that's not Kym. Hello.
We're trying to get a few minutes of our Zoom sucked all my battery from my phone.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we've been able to hear you the whole time.
You're looking at a brick wall. I've got to turn this around and figure it out. Oh, that's funny. This is my first go at what? But that fear, you know, people, it's easy. Oh, thank you. It is not easy to make a choice. And I'll just let the ladies know a little bit about my story. And another encounter I had with Greg was 12 years I lived in grief. I've lost 3 children from a rare genetic heart disorder called endocardial fibroelastosis. And I can guarantee none of you would have heard of that because it is so rare. There is not 1 cent that has been inputted, that's been put into any funding. Not one person wants to touch anybody who has lost a child from that. Because of the rarity, it's a recessive gene, and my 3 of my children, two of my sons and one of my daughter, my only daughter, their hearts expand. If you've got endocardial fibroelastosis, it's expansion of the heart, and you do not live past the age of 2. So after losing 3 of my children, and then 5 subsequent pregnancies, while saying goodbye to them, it was really hard to be living and then go, oh, I have a choice. 12 years I stayed at that state, and it was like bad thing after bad thing. And I remember through it all, I remember just sitting there going, you know what? I have a choice. I have a choice. And I remember waking up with gratitude, waking up and lying there in the morning going, okay, the only way I'm going to get through here, and I made a choice because I was going nowhere. It was a cycle of going nowhere, and I thought to myself, no one gets handed a deal that raw that you don't have a beautiful life to live forward to, look forward to. There's no way I was handed this raw deal so that I could not have a life. So I chose, my perception changed, and I chose to turn what had happened to me into my biggest asset of empowering myself and others around the world. So I thought, you know what? It was sad, and it was, the worst thing. However, I was actually able to perceive it differently and look at it like I've been handed this deal. I'm going to help someone every day. I want to inspire one person a day. But in that's long 12 years of grief, from an angle that I was, the state I was in and the angle and the life that I lived, I must say I never ever once ever thought I had a choice. And then I woke up with some gratitude and went, oh my gosh, I have a husband, I have one surviving child, I have a dog, I have a house. That's rich in itself. And so every morning I woke up with gratitude going, oh my gosh, I have a life. I can breathe today. Someone lost their life yesterday. I have life to continue. I have great friends. I've got amazing family. Oh, I have something. And every single morning for years, I reminded myself how lucky I was to be alive, regardless of the little deal that I was dealt. I kept the gratitude card, and that was awesome because it empowered me to go, you've got choice. You've got lots of choice. Oh my gosh, you've got an abundance of choices. You've got so much choice that, someone else is in a worse of situation than you. And then I went from no choice to all choice. I went from no life to all life. And that power thought right there and then, I could choose. I gave myself back the power, and the past no longer had the power over me. I took my power back, and since then I've just started making choice after choice after choice and going, right, I can sit here and go, this is me, that's my life's over. Or I can go, you know what, this is me, this is where I'm going. I'm choosing to move forward. It is so powerful, but I know that sitting in a whirlwind of grief, it is so hard to see that you have a choice, especially when it comes to child loss. And I've been able to empower myself to go, you still have a choice. You have a choice. You can sit here and it doesn't take, not so much about taking the pain away, because losing a child, you want to replace. You want to replace the love. You want to give the love to another child. You want to keep giving the love. I didn't have the love. It was trapped inside me, and I was like, who am I going to give the love to now? So I chose to give it to myself and then other people by empowering them with my stories. So I can understand you sitting there going, man, don't have a choice. And then knock, 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 something happens and it clears the pathway. You say, no, I bloody do have a choice. Thank you for listening.
Cool.
And then Greg, I remember when we lost our daughter, 2009, and I think I had seen you for massage.
Yeah.
I went away and I went to Palmerston Hospital, and I had my daughter, and then she didn't actually live for long. She was, full term healthy, and then she actually had the same heart condition. She only lived for 2 days, so I got to go from the big city hospital to the local community hospital. I actually didn't get my daughter home. Her heart had already given out. And I think it was about 2 weeks after her funeral, I remember going in for another massage. And I was standing in the kitchen, and I had this huge story, like my life was over. And I remember Greg, he didn't give me any pity, he gave me love. Didn't give me any pity, but he empowered me with words like, that's your story now, like that's your story, but just hold on to what you've got to look forward to. I can't remember word for word, but he was acknowledging that was my situation then. He wasn't, pitying me or trying to buff up my story. He was simply just giving me the space to share what I needed to get off my bloody chest. I was just like, man, this sucks. My life sucks. I've got nothing to look forward, nothing to look forward to, and la la la. And then he gave me the space to talk, and then he gave me the what's the word? Like a silent invite that if I wanted to talk, I was welcome back. That I wasn't a hindrance. That I wasn't too hard to handle, and that even though his situation was very different, he understood. He could acknowledge that I was in a space right here and then that was going to either shift, like make or break me. And that, you know, he was quite happy if I needed to talk to someone, just go back, no judgment. No judgment. Now, I remember you saying that to me in the kitchen. It was like, you know, we're here, you know, here if you need. And that was powerful because, yeah, just key words. That was cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And, you know, thank you for inviting me on the journey to watch this young lady who's been busy grieving all her life to somebody who's so empowered and so joyful. And, you know, this is what I mean. You know, back then when we first met, the life you're living now was totally inconceivable.
Mm.
You know, it wasn't even imaginable. This was just something outside of anybody's reality, that you'd be so joyful. Because how many people do we know back home that are still grieving 40 years later because their cat died? You know? It's this sort of stuff. And it's like, and to be able to watch you with your family. I mean, I work with your husband, I work with you, I work with your boy. You know, you brought them all in. And it was like, suddenly this family went from this closed, shut down group of individuals to this group that says, fuck, we're going to Australia, we're moving, we're going to have fun, we're great. And next thing you know, your boys playing rugby, you know, almost at international level, and you're thriving, and your man's thriving and joyful. And it's like, whoa, you know. And this for me is what life's about. It's about seeing that, discovering those choices, but being willing to go, I choose that. And I choose to be healthy. I mean, it really, when people ask me how I got out of my wheelchair, I tell them I changed my mind. You know, how did you get your left hand back? I changed my mind. How did you recover from the heart issues? I don't have time for this shit. I'm just, you know, I changed my mind. You know, it's all of these when we can let go. And so thank you, Kymmy, for just, again, being an inspiration for me to keep doing what I do. You know, because this is, I mean, there's 4 other ladies on the screen that I've watched them all transform and change and choose change in it. So this is the stuff that keeps me moving forward. You know, all of you have created beyond what you ever thought was possible.
Yes.
You know, and this is the invitation to the world. You know, we don't have to listen to what our teachers told us, what society impels upon us. We can actually create, because we're infinite beings that have more choice than we know. And, you know, and then what's the magic? Let go the shackles that are just smoke, really. We think they're stronger than steel, but it's just smoke once we let it go. They just disappear and we're suddenly free. So free.
Freedom's good. It's,
Yeah.
And that, the hands, the massage, you know, the clicking, the stuff that you did, you know, it was healing too. So not only was it a place where you could talk and not be judged, but, you know, healing hands, you know, just it's like that therapy, you know, just having that human touch.
Yeah.
That was powerful too. It's very powerful, you know.
I could talk for hours on that, so I won't. I do. I talk for 2 days. So yeah, one day, maybe the alchemy class will come to Australia. So far, it never happens, but you know, but one day it will. I look forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to that, sometimes the hardest choice we make gets us to a beautiful destination. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
You're like, okay, It's funny how humans wait till they're nearly broken and in despair and no way out before they go, I need to make a choice. Along the way, they're just winging it. They're going, oh, it'll get better tomorrow, it'll get better tomorrow. And life goes round in the same circles. But we wait till we're nearly down and out and completely exhausted of our body, mind and soul before we go, oh, I'll go do that thing you said, you know.
We all decide we have to have a crisis first. And I can't talk. I've had I've had so many crises to kick my ass into the right direction. So yeah, I mean, I think that if you to use a biblical term, we all have to come to our Garden of Gethsemane, where we actually have to choose: do we take the job on, or do we check out? Do we choose this or not? And it's when we realize that only we can choose for us. Nobody else can help us make that choice. And sometimes the universe says, well, I've been whispering now for a little while, so here's a 4x2 between the ears to wake you up, you know. It's like, hello, you know. Yeah. So, Miss Kymmy, how you doing?
Oh, very good, thank you. I'll fill the ladies in. I now live an amazing life. I live, a very grief-stricken, traumatized life, watching my children pass away, and not having any hope because it's a very genetic, the recessive gene, because there's no money, that they can't find the gene. There's no money. It's a needle in a haystack. So of course that hope went away as well. But now, ladies, I can share that I live an amazing life. I wake up every morning, truly happy, because of who I am and what I've accomplished, and getting out of that hole and making sure I'm okay first before I go out and conquer the world. Just taking a few moments to just gather my thoughts, know and go out with intent. What would I like to achieve today? And remind myself of who I am, where I'm from, and where I'm going. And that it's okay to have all these setbacks. They're making me stronger for who I'm going to be later on in life. And just be at peace with myself. But, I love what I do, helping people through grief or emotional barriers, sharing my story, and I'm in a completely different space, mentoring, from Greg, staying in touch as well. I mean, I'm in Perth and he's I'm in Austria. I mean, geez, thank goodness for Facebook and things like that. But getting those positive mindset, personal development, and everything like that to gear myself up, get that like the engine, having it in there and going, right, you're running on all 4 cylinders. Yeah, your head's right, your heart's right. That's what you're feeling, really the whole body, what's your body telling you, and then being aware of when I'm run down as well. The body starts to trigger up and go, right, I need to do something about this. So being aware, self-awareness is huge. When I was able to conquer that, I was able to listen and go, oh, hang on, body's telling me something. TikTok, got to do something about it. So I don't get, I don't get sick as much. And it'd be a big difference between getting sick when I'm in a bad state to, feeling a little bit unwell now. Big difference, that shift in mindset and how powerful it can take you. And also empowering people, for me being a woman, to be able to empower women around the world and go, you're not just mum, you're not just auntie, you're not just grandma, you're not just the receptionist, you're not just this. Choose to say you are that. You're more than that. You just haven't found it yet. I can guarantee you now, 5 minutes with me, I'll tell you exactly the sort of person you are. And it's all good. Because we label ourselves as that, oh, I'm just the cleaner. No, you're not. You're Mary, you're la. You mean something. You have a unique gift. Let's get it. You're not just this. You're not just mum. You are more than that. You are the mum to these children. You are the wife to this man or this woman or whatever. You are more. You're greatness. Let's find your greatness. Let's see what lies within. You say that you like your job. It doesn't align with what you do. What aligns with you. Let's find what you're passionate about, and let's start burning the fires and go, right, is this the track that you want to be on? You know, finding that unique, brilliant. I think that the studies show that through natural disasters, deaths and births, and this word like a trillion to one that we're actually here right now from everything that's going around on this planet. Wars and for everyone to survive. It's so rare and unique. And when we look at ourselves and go, oh, I'm just the older sister, I'm just the younger sister, it's our language as well, what we're telling ourselves. You're not just the sister, you are you. What is it about you that makes you tick? What is it that you're still looking to find? And when you find that, oh my gosh, your life changes. From that day onwards, you do nothing but shine and bloom. And then you have a crappy day and you're like, oh, this is all crap. But then you come back into alignment and you go, know what? You already knew, deep down, you already know that you have something special to give to the world. You already know that you have got the tools to get through something. We get these positive resources, like what Greg does. We get, what I do, we get these positive resources, and they are the tools to help us unravel what it is we actually already know. We just need to find more evidence of it. So if anyone ever tells you, oh, you're just, or if you ever catch yourself telling you you were just this, you're more than that. Definitely more than that. And there's a long journey, so it's like, right, let's get started on the journey. Let's get in. No matter what anyone tells you, you go for it.
This is amazing, Kym, listening to you. This is so cool. You come so far from that lost little girl in the kitchen. I'm just feeling so joyful watching you. This is so awesome. Thank you.
It's funny too, because back home, when you have a shift in mindset, and if any of you come from smaller towns, or a lot of times in smaller towns, these isolated ones, you don't have a lot of variety of resources around. And when you have a shift in mindset, it's very hard to connect with people who haven't had a shift in mindset. And and that can sometimes be really showing that once you let go and you're okay with what you're doing, man, you go forward, and then you start to attract a lot of other people who have that same mindset, that just like, wow. And you can love on the people that you may not be in line with. The energy source is different now. You can love on them, and they're still good. However, there's so much more, and there's more connections that we can make through life, and we can attract more simply by being who we truly are. We will attract those people in our lives. Love on the ones that we've had that experience with, and bless the ones we're experiencing things with now, and invite, welcome, and allow new connections to come through as well. Because that was a hard thing too, that changing of mindset. When you have a massive shift in your life, sometimes it's very lonely at the top, very lonely. Out on the side, up the top, wherever you want to say. And you go home, you talk about stuff, and people are like, what are you talking about? I gone to an alchemy session. I went to see a kinesiologist. What are you talking about? Mumbo jumbo. What are you talking about? And when it comes down to it, we're all speaking the same language. We're just using just different therapies or different tools.
Thank you, Kym, for sharing your story. It is really inspiring, and your words, I think I so much felt you, and I'm aware of you and your joy and what you have to offer. It's really warming me up, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Claudia. Oh, you're welcome, Melanie. I love your top too. That's so cool.
Thank you.
I had to add that, and it's so cool. Is it a dress or a top? And how come everyone's in singlets? I'm in Perth. What's going on over there? Are you all in Oxford?
It was the first. It was the first I just took. In the morning, it was too early.
Cool.
So.
Okay. So shall I stop recording? Sophie, did you want to say something? No? Cool. She doesn't speak English.
No.
She doesn't speak English and she doesn't like talking.
Oh, yeah, everybody's sleeping in her house. So shout loud. Yeah. So anyway, so I'll press stop and we can